Good morning. It's Thursday. Woo, baby, it is the weekend. Welcome to LoveBabz, LoveTalk. I'm Babz Rawls-Ivy. I got a guest at 9:15, Karaine Holness, the Jamaican American connection, and my style goddess, Captain, will be on at 9:15 to talk about the second annual golf tournament. So give us about 5 minutes, Kay. Give us 5 minutes and we'll get right into it. I love that. You make me want to go to the Caribbean with that background.
Girl,
So we'll start at 9:15. I need about 5 minutes to talk about all the stuff we got into last night.
that is not, girl, I am so tired. What good
I
do you
am
think?
tired. I'm tired too. So last night we were at the 2024 annual dinner, transforming relationships in the legal environment. It's the George W. Crawford Black Association. And it was founded by Mr. Rose, attorney Mr. Rose, who I saw last night, which was really, really wonderful to run into him. And so we were up in Hartford. I was the guest of Dory Dumas, which was really nice. It's nice when your friends put you in spaces where they know you need to be, and they just put you in. That's a good example of people speak your name in spaces where you're not. And she thought this would be a good idea for me to get into space and see people. And I knew quite a few people. There were some people I didn't get a chance to see because the cocktail hour was so big, but it was great. So anyway, so what's up, Kay? We might as well just get into it since you're here. Oh, let me also shout out Akia Callum, who's been such a delight to me and so helpful to me in my law school journey. But she won the 2024 Priscilla Green Scholarship, and she's a delightful young woman. And going into her 3L at UConn, and she's a part-time evening student because she works a full-time job. So anyway, what's up, Kay Holness? What's happening? I saw Kay there last night.
Yep, she was there.
Yep,
She's
Kay was
tired
there.
now.
And a whole Jamaican contingency.
That's right. We were there to support Natalie. She was recognized as well. Because she's a yardie, so we show up for the yardies.
Wait, Natalie. Let me see.
Uh-huh.
Which one is Natalie? Did she get an award?
She sure did.
Oh, Natalie Braswell.
Yes.
She is
Yes.
the general counsel to the governor.
Yes. And so she went to our mutual friend, Attorney Clark. They went to UConn together.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, look at all the UConn people showing out.
They show up and they show out, girl.
So yeah, so she got the award. It was amazing for me to be in a room with. Here she is. If y'all want to peep that a little bit.
Yes.
It was nice to be in a space with all those black ass attorneys
And judges.
and judges. I saw Luby. I saw a bunch of people that I know. It was really nice. But anyway, this morning we're talking about Jamaican American Connection. Jack, second
Jack,
annual golf tournament.
our golf tournament. Can you imagine?
I believe when you did it the first time, I was like, all right, but here it is, year two already.
Already, yes. So everyone knows our story with golfer Shamar Wilson.
Who we love.
Yes. And so when Shamar came into our lives, in order for most people don't know his stories on our website, jacknewhaven.org. But this phenomenal golfer came into New Haven and needed our support. And as an organization, we jumped in, not knowing exactly what we're going to do, but we jumped in. And here we are at our second annual golf tournament. And these funds, we're eventually going to turn it over to international students. Students who come here with the I-20 visa, because we realize that once the students are here, they they can't work, and there's a lot of scholarships that they can't apply for.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, so this is in support of Mr. Wilson, and so yeah,
He's a lovely young man.
he sure is.
He's such a lovely young. So he'll be here giving us
Yes,
golf lessons.
he's been giving golf lessons. I mean, the funniest thing is,
It's going to
so
be
we
straight comedy.
right, so he can't play, right? So he's going to be doing clinics. So we have so for people who say they're not golfers and just want the introduction into golf, they can do the clinics with him at the driving range. And he's gonna be there, and his former teammate from Alberta's golf team is gonna be there in support as well. And so we'll have two great golfers supporting our non-golfers. And then those people who can play will play the nine-hole course. And we're gonna have a good time. We're doing something a little bit different. So in my head, I've always looked at it as reggae on the green, right? So we're gonna have a food truck. We can't have music per se, because you gotta be quiet on the course. But we're gonna have the food truck with jerk chicken and all of that. And then we also have a liquor sponsor.
I was going to say, is there some alcohol? Because listen,
Yes.
do I have to sneak some in? What's the story?
No, actually, no, because it's actually a public golf course. So y'all do what y'all do. But we got a sponsorship from Litchfield Distillery, and they will be, we're gonna be having tastings. So one of
Okay.
my thing with them is like, let's see which bourbon, which gin, whatever goes well with jerk chicken. So let's see what happens. So yeah, so we're looking forward to having a good time.
I think it's going to be. So is it, can people still buy tickets? Where do they go?
Eventbrite. They can go on Eventbrite. It's there.
And look up Jack second
Mhm.
annual golf tournament.
Yes.
How much are
And it's
tickets?
fun.
I know
The
it's fun.
35 for the driving range, and 150 to for individuals playing the 9-hole. And one of the things that I've been hearing is like, oh, I play golf, it's 18 holes. It's a fundraiser, and we just really want people to really gather. So 9 holes, you go out there, you have a blast, and you come back, and we just commune and laugh and create relationships and so on and so forth. And also be able to talk to Shamar and find out what his goals are, because coming in the fall, he starts playing for Payne College in Augusta, Georgia.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Okay.
so people can, have these conversations with him, find out where he wants to go, talk about being around trailblazing golfers like Jim Dent, like he plays golf like literally every day now, being in Augusta. So people can have these conversations with him and find out what his dreams, hopes, and aspirations are.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay. So this is one of two big fundraisers that y'all do.
Yes.
And the other one is the Jack Gala, Scholarship
The,
Gala,
the scholarship gala.
which is
Yes.
coming up.
September 14th
Yes, which
at
is
the Omni.
at the end. And listen, I tell everybody, I have never in my life seen the Omni cook as good as they do for the Jamaicans.
You
I'm
see,
just
Babz,
saying.
no, Babz, those are some fighting words, because people come to me and like, how did this happen? So
If
one of
you
the
don't
things,
ask, you don't get.
exactly. So one of the things I found out was that the Omni, as a wedding venue, will cater your meals the way you want it. You just gotta pay, you're gonna pay extra. And
Mhm.
because we want to be able to have, make it a little authentic, or as close to being authentic as possible, that's what we do. So yes, we try to make our menu be reflective of the Caribbean, and they do a good job with it.
Mm. Well,
So
I'm gonna tell you something. When you eat with Jamaican folks and the Jamaican folks like the food, you all right. You know it's good. And it was good, Kay. Like for this last few years that you've been doing it over there, it's been good.
girl, and we ain't touching the menu. We not
I
messing with the
wouldn't.
menu. Like every time I was like, oh, maybe we should do. I was like, you know what?
Uh-uh.
We gonna stick to what we know. We gonna make it work because it has been working. It ain't broken, and we're not gonna try to do anything else to it. So yes,
I love it. I love it. All right, so the golf tournament is Sunday.
yes.
What time?
It's well, tee off is at 1. But for those who want to be on the driving range, we start for them like for the clinic at 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so there's two different pricings. One if you want to play the
Yes.
9 holes, and
Mm-hmm.
one if you just want to
Want
be
to
in
be
the
at the driving
clinic.
range. And then if you just want
Okay.
to come to the reception, that you have that option as well
Okay. All
after,
right.
So
And it's
yes.
it's not a wallet busting event.
Mm-mm.
You know.
And we have fun,
You have fun. You have fun. And
We
that's
have
the
fun.
whole point.
And we have really great sponsors. I'm gonna tell you that Harriet Home Health Agency has been one of our biggest sponsors for anything that we're doing within the community. That
Mhm.
has been a great
I met
partnership.
those women, right? Those women.
Yes. When
Yes,
they did that talk about gun
they are
violence.
smart and knowledgeable, and they make a
Yes.
whole lot of sense around this healthcare, caring
Yes.
for folks game. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, they bad. They're bad. So yeah, so they're partnered with us. And we also had a new sponsor from out of Waterbury. So yeah, so come and meet our sponsors and talk to the people that comes there and talk to Shamar, and you can find out about Jack and all the other events that we're having, because Caribbean Heritage Festival is coming up.
I was
And
just going to say that is coming up. And since you moved to downtown, because I will say this, Kay, when you decided to take it from Bowen Field to downtown, I was a little nervous. So
you
I was like, oh,
I'm going
this
to
is
tell you
just
that
gonna
Charmaine
be.
was the one who was like, Charmaine and Shelly. And I was like, boy, I don't know. I don't
I know
know.
that's how I was. I was like,
Whew.
oh, I don't know about this. But you put it on the lower green.
Yes. So,
This
so,
the
so it
or what I
worked.
like to call the shady part of the green, the shade
Yes,
part of the
because
green.
it's very cool there.
It's cool.
And
It's
then
trees.
when the in the evening on the main stage, we have Lyrical this year, straight from Trinidad.
Yes.
Yes. So we
So
have
so you could
Lyrical.
just walk across the street and continue your wind. Your
That's
wind,
right.
your wind
And
down.
or and then in the middle you can stop and support the vendors.
Yeah. So what I loved about it being downtown, which I didn't realize I was gonna love as much as I do, parking aside, I like being able to walk in. I'm downtown. You have vendors. You have a stage. You have a smaller stage for local stuff and lots of people, and it just works. And it really does expose people, other people who wouldn't ordinarily come to come. That's like a
Yeah.
really good example of that.
Yeah, and one of the things that we try to explain to people is that the Caribbean is more than sun, rum, and fun, right? Like we have a lot of history and a lot of culture, and for whatever reasons we're here and we contribute. And so, June is Caribbean Heritage Month.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so we want to be able to celebrate here in the city of New Haven,
Mhm.
so
And you have
we're very
other
thankful for all the support.
and the other Caribbean islands that want to support can set up a tent and
Right. So we
show
have
off their stuff.
informational. That's
Yeah.
right. This is your time. Like I used to tell people, like, I'm not from Barbados, so I cannot talk about flying fish because I'm not from Barbados. I'm Jamaican. I can tell you everything about Jamaica. So I need you to come and do your island the best you possibly can. You know, you don't need a lot of stuff. You just need some stuff that is authentic that you're not necessarily gonna see online, just to walk. So there's a book that we use throughout the Caribbean called Student Companion. Almost every time someone sees that book, they try to steal it. Like, no. But those are things that is authentic to us, because we do our education is different. So we did like O levels and A levels and then CXC. So it's just a whole different thing. So we have some of those things, and we are able to talk about being home. What is the difference? The sad thing about the Caribbean is we don't necessarily get all our history. So we don't know
Right.
much about each other, but this is a time that we learn about each other and realize that between the Caribbean and the US, no different. We just separated by water. Our
Yeah.
cultures, like we're from the African diaspora. We mixed up. We do so many similar things. Rice and peas is like rice and peas in Jamaica, different from rice and peas in Trinidad, different from rice and peas like in Louisiana, because Louisiana has that whole Haitian French connection. So we are truly connected, and this is the opportunity that we use to say, hey guys, here we are. We are part of the global majority, and we need to start locking hands and hearts together.
Yes. I think you're right. And the other Caribbean island representatives come out, they set up, they put
Yeah.
out their history. I love that you have the Jamaican woman that I can't think of her
Janice
name.
Hart.
Yes, who does the telling of the old stories, and I love that. Like that's probably one of my favorite things because somebody has to be the keeper of that history.
Yeah, the
The oral
history.
tradition of telling the
Correct.
stories.
Because we don't
Yes.
get to have museums and stuff like that. I mean, our stuff is shown in museums and stuff like that. But this is the oral history is a passed on tradition throughout the African diaspora. I mean, throughout all histories, right? People, it's language and it's passed down and all of those things. So we look forward to always highlight, if we can highlight the Caribbean. Yeah, we're gonna be there. Flag and all. Yay. It's like, oh
Yes,
yeah.
because your partner in crime, Charmaine, is not from Jamaica. She's from Dominica.
Yes. Not to be confused with the Dominican Republic.
Oh, and listen, I know better because I've been to both places. I know
Yes.
better. I know better, So that speaks to and I did not realize a lot of people don't understand the breakdown of island culture. Like Dominican Republic is different than Dominica. Dominicans are different than St. Lucians. St.
Mhm.
Lucians are different than Jamaicans, and Jamaicans are a bit different than Barbadians, and you know,
I think our culture is just depends on who colonized us.
yeah.
So if you're colonized by the French, or you may have had French and Spanish, or you may have Dutch, you know. So
Hmm.
Jamaica was Spanish and English, So it all depends. So that creates that underlying vein that runs throughout the Caribbean, right? Because we
Yeah.
were colonized by someone from Europe. And they leave their mark, and we take the mark and we create our mark, our spin on things. The same thing that happens like here, even with Carnival and how we celebrate, So yeah, we out of many one people, here we are.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So being downtown has been quite successful, I think.
it has. The partnership with International Arts and Ideas has been and listen, it was one of the best things that could ever happen. I always tell people that in 2000 when what is it? Mayor Harp was the first person that heard us when we say, Mayor Harp, we need to recognize the Caribbean nationals living in, working in, and playing in the city of New Haven.
Hmm.
And she gave us her blessing and her support. prior to that, no one would hear us. So we'll always thank Mayor Harp for her support. And then meeting Shelley when she just came to New Haven as the new ED for International Arts and Ideas. Like, we met her at your party on Ivy Street. You know what I'm saying?
You met her on the porch.
Met her on the porch. And she asked the questions, and she came and she saw us at Gough Street Park, and she says, "Oh my gosh, you guys are doing something phenomenal here. We would like to partner with you." Hey, win-win. So yeah, so we're thankful for the blessings, and so this is our opportunity to show that we are here. We're proud. We're proud for where we're from, but most of us have lived here in the United States longer than we've lived in our homes, birth homes, but we still have our children, our relationships, and we want to share. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. I'm looking forward to all the things. I'm looking forward to, so do y'all ever have conversations about adding one more thing or do you go back and forth about, listen, let's just do these 3 things well, or,
Let's do these 3 things well. I mean, we have things that we sprinkle in and, a little bit here, a little bit there, but these are the three main things. As I'm still the president of Jack, but maybe the next president of Jack may decide to do something else, and so we're open to whatever comes, as long as it's a betterment of the Caribbean voices here in the city of New Haven.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So as the president of Jack, and by president, I really mean king of the Jamaicans, queen of the Jamaicans, because you are a connector. Like, you are a really good connector of people, and I watch you do it from the students that come to Yale and they need a good Black hairdresser. And this is what else you do. Even if you don't do their hair, you send them to other places that would do a good job on their hair. Yeah. Like, I don't know anybody else who does that.
Listen, the hand is so powerful, right? In order to receive, your hands have to be open. In order to give, you still have to open your hands to release whatever it is that you have. And I guess I've always been an old soul because I grew up with my grandparents. And my grandmother has always instilled in me that the graveyard is the richest place on earth, because people die with their ideas and thoughts and all of those things. And it doesn't take anything to help someone. And you can't be everything to everyone. And so, yes, I will send people to other salons. I will find their churches. You do whatever you have to do. I realized the power I had as a hairdresser, standing there and having a whole plethora of people coming into my space. It doesn't really take a lot to share.
That's a wonderful way to be. That's a wonderful way to be. And not only do you all just shit, not only do you share, but you support other people's events. You go to their events and have a good time.
Have a great time. And I mean, because it's the same dollar, right? It goes around in a circle. So how long does one of the arguments that people have always said is like, how long does the Black dollar stay in the Black community? So I'm gonna keep it there as long as I possibly can. Someone support, because support for support. If you support my events or whatever and it's successful, we have to then support your event to help it make it successful too. So that's what we do.
Yes. And I'm telling you, Kay, I'm always amazed every time I meet a new Jamaican.
Why? Because even the gentleman that went to Yale, that program with you,
I didn't even know he was Jamaican.
He's first generation.
I did not know.
Babz, it's because when they meet me, their accent come out.
I'm thinking, all this time I've been sitting with this brother, I did not hear one thing about
no
Caribbean,
accent.
Jamaica, nothing.
And he said one word, and I was like, "Say ayade," just like that. And that was it for him. He was done. Oh, we gotta keep in touch. So yes, so we're gonna keep in touch.
See,
So you
that's what
would
I
like me
mean.
to see the gala?
I run into these people and I'm like, they're Jamaican? All right. I'm
There's a lot
Jamaican
of
too.
Caribbean nationals that are here.
Hmm.
Whether they're born in Jamaica and migrated here, or they're first generation, there's a lot of us from the Caribbean that are here.
Yes.
You know,
How did the clothing drive go the other day? And tell us about why that happens.
so that was our first time doing that. So one of the things that we wanted to do was we wanted to raise well, the goal was to raise $2,000. And what we had wanted to do with that funding was to purchase supplies for the teachers,
Oh,
the
okay.
elementary schools. So we
Okay.
we raised we
In
raised some
Jamaica.
money. No, here in New Haven.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh. We do things in New Haven.
I know you do,
We don't
but
just do Jamaica and the Caribbean.
well, I just know the need in Jamaica is so great.
Yeah, but the need is great here too.
I'm not taking away from the need here. I'm just saying
No, but you
I had no
see,
idea.
yes. So what we do is we try to create somewhat of a balance. We live here, so we have to also give back here as well. So that the funds from that project was for the New Haven school system. Well, elementary schools in the, let's say, Dixwell area. So yeah,
Mm.
so we're still gonna do that. So that was our
Wow.
first time. Girl, that was a lot of work. Can I tell you, collecting?
What kind of things did you collect? Was there specific things?
So we collected household items, clothing, and everything, and then we took it to a store, and they weighed it, and then they paid us.
Wow.
That's a lot of work, though, girl. I can't
And
tell
so
you.
what happens to the club? Like where do they go? You don't
They're gonna
know?
sell it back and probably make much,
Oh,
much
I
money.
see. Okay.
Mm.
Well, it
Yeah,
keeps it out
but
of landfills.
it's no, but it's time, like it's spring and people are cleaning out their closets,
Uh-huh.
and so it was a perfect time.
Oh yeah.
So we did that. Something similar to what your sorority is doing, the free market.
The free market. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that because they're coming on in another week or so to talk about
Let's
how
see.
long it's been running and how successful it has been.
Correct. And so, and that goes back when we used to do the haircuts on the green. We
Yes.
we used to have a smaller free market as well.
Hmm.
But so it's each one does something for our community. We be all right. We all right.
Hmm. Hmm.
Take care of us. We take care of each other.
I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, that's a good thing,
Hmm.
if you're going to be a community, you alone can't be successful in that community. Right?
Yeah.
Rising tides lift all ships.
Girl. Yes. And more hands make the work light.
Yes.
you
Yes.
know
Yes.
so we realize that, and so for me it's always, so a part of our motto when we used to attend school in Jamaica, one of our motto was doing our part to advance the welfare of the whole human race. And so when I get really into my feelings and really mad because something may not be working in our favor, I then have to take a deep breath and go back to doing our part to help the advance the welfare of the whole human race. Each
Hmm.
of us has to play a part,
Hmm. Hmm.
so I will always play my part. So, because, community
Yeah.
raised me. I'll never forget that. I can, as a little girl growing up, I knew where everybody who my mom put around me as a part of my village to raise me. So I have to do the same thing. So, yeah. And thank
Uh,
you for helping me to do, not just me, helping us to do the work that we do here in New Haven.
Listen, whatever I do is a very small component to to the bigger picture of what y'all have put out there. I'm just happy you just let me hang out.
We got some good parties, don't we? Some good gatherings.
Yes.
Some good gatherings.
That's some good. I'm trying to decide about golfing. I'm gonna buy a ticket. I'm just trying to
Oh,
decide
listen.
if I could it has nothing to do
Yes.
with you. It's just, you know how we
Babz,
run and rip
this
these
is time
streets.
when you go show Robert all those push-ups and presses that you've been doing. Listen, just hit the ball.
Does he just hit the
It is
ball?
so humbling to see, like, girl, golf will humble you in a
I know.
second.
I played golf before.
Listen,
Yeah.
so I went out with him on Monday and he's like, listen, I need you to just try to hit it. I had no sneakers, nothing, girl. I took my shoes off, my flip-flops. I took it off because, that's dangerous. And girl, I said, this is why I don't play golf. Just to concentrate to hit this little ball
Uh-huh.
and pay attention. It is very humbling. I
Yeah.
tell all my friends they should try it.
I got a trick for that. I'll tell you what it is offline.
What? Pick it up and throw it?
No, no, no. I'm not gonna say it online.
Don't say it
I'll
online, girl. Don't say it
text
online.
it to you later.
But yeah, we're gonna have fun. It's all about having fun, raising funds while having fun.
So have y'all put out a number of how much scholarships y'all have done over the years?
No, you know what, Babz? We're guilty of that. We just do the work.
Yeah. I think the next one you should announce, so far we have given out X amount of dollars, because I think that's important so people can understand the financial impact of what you are doing. Like this money went to scholarships for students to go to school. Like this is what this did.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We will. It's just that you're just so busy in
I know.
Just so busy in the work,
And that's just a Norm conversation. Who's the treasurer? Who keeps the books? Not Norm Forrester. Is it Norm?
No, Fiona.
Oh, just tell Fiona. Fiona, how much money have we given out over the years of doing this? She'll tell you. She probably knows it in her sleep.
Well, you know that. She's an amazing treasurer. That's all I can
know.
tell
Listen, Fiona don't play.
Don't play.
I know she don't play.
She's an amazing treasurer.
She don't play. I know, but you got a whole team of folks who are very serious about, what Jack is doing. And
the organization has some amazing members.
Yeah, you are a fine leader,
Thank you.
And it takes people who want to lead.
Yes.
Because things have to get done, and it takes people who are willing to be out there and connecting and talking. And I want to impress upon people what it means to launch an organization of this nature and to be dedicated and committed to it, because you have to keep going back to people and reminding them this is what this is. Come and support it. Not unlike all the other organizations.
And we're also smaller than everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And so to some, like, we're and who are you and what have you done? Never heard of you before. And because we still get that, like, and we're like, we're 14 years in the game. We're 14 years. Next year will be our 15th year. So we've been doing some stuff.
So next year you should have a big deal.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Who's the speaker this year for the gala? Can you say, or are you keeping it under wraps for a little longer?
Well, we're going to release it on Monday. So not Monday, on Sunday. So I guess I can always give it to you, Babz.
Well, you can give me a sneak peek.
No, I'm just going to tell it to you and your listeners. It is Juliet Bosley, aka Julie Mango. She's a comedian.
Oh yes, I've seen her.
She's a mental health advocate. Yes.
Yes, I've seen her stuff on Instagram.
Yes.
Oh, this is gonna be hilarious.
Listen, so she is our keynote, our trailblazers for 2024.
Which I love these trailblazers. Like I love.
Listen, because sometimes people don't know that they're there, right?
Yeah.
So we have Sasa Harriet from Harriet Home Health Agency.
Of course.
Absolutely. And we have Franklin Reynolds from UI.
Okay. Y'all
Yes.
will find the Caribbean people hiding out.
Girl,
You
we gonna find you.
y'all will smoke out Caribbean folks. And they be all up
Absolutely.
in the mix. They be all up in the mix and decision making. I was like, oh, I didn't know they were Caribbean, you know.
Yeah. See,
So
just like Natalie, right?
so
She
so
general counsel.
and my personal favorite is honorary Jamaican. Can you say who that is, or are you holding that until then? That's
Yeah, we
fine.
hold that because we don't usually let them know.
Right. Yes, because you'd be sitting out there and be like, then they call your name. You're like, wait, what?
Yes, and you are an honorary
I
Jamaican.
am, and I need me a sash. I need a
You and Miss Pamela Washington are very first honorary
yes,
Jamaican.
and we wear it out.
But we are very thankful because what people don't understand that it's a level of pride when your friends not only support you in the things that you do, but they embrace your culture. And I'll tell people the story all the time of when you went to Jamaica with me and you said to me, which I've never looked at it that way. Um, the fact that we went on a plane that had black pilots, we had black flight attendants, we got to the airport and there were black people. It was a Wakanda moment. And
Before
you know,
Wakanda even was a thought.
right. And so it's so now I look at it going, we take things for granted because it's under our nose, right? It's a part of our day. And we never realize how blessed we were to have so much greatness around us and we just didn't recognize it. So
Mhm.
it opened my eye to a lot of things. And so I thank you for that because that was your perspective, right? But then that perspective was given to me, which now I look at it and say, wow. So now we
Yeah,
have to learn how to see the beauty and the strength that's right where
I
we
love
are.
it. Where do we fly into?
We flew into Kingston.
It's my favorite place. I I don't care what
Kingston.
they say about Kingston K, and I know they talk all kinds of.
But
I don't care.
listen,
My favorite place to fly into because my people.
there. And when you went to and of course, people, I took her to the grocery store because I'm Jamaican. As soon as I get back to Jamaica, I have to go to the grocery store. There's just something about going into the supermarket. That's my thing. I'm gonna go. And so just to, yeah. So I thank you for sharing your insights about this little island that has created such greatness.
Yes.
And for us to realize and recognize that we still carry that greatness within us. There's times when we'll talk about our national heroine, which is Nanny, the Nanny of the Maroons.
Hmm.
Um, just we listen, when your back is against the wall, sometimes you have to go back to those stories and proverbs of your elders and let that become your guide and your strength. And when someone else from the outside is able to see what you have and open your eyes to it, because sometimes we spend so much time looking outside, looking at the other person's grass and
Yeah.
not realizing that our grass is just as green.
Yeah.
So thank you for
Yeah.
that. And that's why you're an honorary Jamaican.
Yes, man. Listen, I wear it with pride. I jump in the pictures.
That's right. And you say your two words. No,
I
the difference between you, no, Pam is fully immersed because she has a
yeah,
whole
she is.
a high school. Pam is in Jamaica telling people that she is from Jamaica. So yes, so hey,
Well, I haven't gone that far because I can't pull that off.
no, she has
Pam
done
can pull
great
that
with that.
off. I can't pull it off. At best, I can say I like spending time up in the Blue Mountains. That's my
Yes, that's
favorite.
your favorite. That's serendipity,
Yes, that's my favorite
which
thing.
we'll be going back to really soon.
I am looking forward to it for a lot of reasons because we got to
Yes,
honor and
you gotta
bless the
honor
space
Jackie.
for
Yeah,
our good friend Dr. Jackie Satchel, and we just need to go back to that space to just be with her in that
yes,
space because she was very happy there.
she really was. And that was
So
that was actually her last trip.
yeah, and I know she is there waiting for us. So I'd like to go back and reconnect
Yeah.
to her. No, I ain't hiking, but I will.
No, that would be the rest of us. That
That
would
would
be
be the rest of y'all.
honoring her request to
I'm gonna
climb
honor her
Steel
right by the
Mountain Peak.
pool. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit by the lake, the river, the creek, and let the cool air flow while I drink a good cocktail. And that's how I will honor her. So,
Listen, and we take it any which way we can.
we
So
do, we do. All right, so people, go to you can go to Eventbrite and look up the second annual Jack golf
scholarship golf.
scholarship tournament. You
Mm-hmm.
can go look that up. You can go to their website. What's your website?
jacnewhaven.org.
jacnewhaven.org. So it's all up there.
Yes.
So Sunday, if you don't have anything to do and you want to kick it with some cool Jamaican folks and Caribbean folks, come down. And they've got a distillery that's going to be, having some sips. So
Sip,
come,
sips.
just come for that. So
That's
I'm gonna
right.
dig out my golf shoes, Kay. I'm coming.
Listen, we look forward to having a mighty grand time on the course. And eventually, Babz, it's gonna be so big that we can definitely have the reggae on the green. That is my dream. Trust me on that.
Listen, I have no doubt. If you want to do it
Yes.
next year, you can do it. Listen,
If
I
I
have no
can't
doubt.
listen, we just need full participation. So yes.
Yes, I love it. Well, thank you
Thank
for
you.
your time this morning. Thanks for jumping on short notice and just
Yeah.
hanging out and talking about this wonderful organization that you get to shepherd and all the folks that make it go. I appreciate you, Kay Holness, more than you will ever know.
And likewise, Babz. Thank you.
All right. Love you, girl. Let me go see if I can find me some Jamaican golf clothes.
All right. Bye.
I'll see you later. Oh my gosh, I love my friends. I love my friends. I have such a great life. I love my friends. The people who look out for me, the people who hold me down, the people who make me do this so enjoyable. It just makes me happy to sort of do this work. And so I'm glad I got a chance to have a talk with Kay. Anru is up at 10:15. He's gonna come on and get our Orishas right. And I think Kay's last lines of drawing from the ancestors and the elders is a nice segue to how Anru and I like to converse about the ancestors and the role that they play in our own sustainability on this side of the realm. So that was really nice. And who doesn't need their Orishas aligned? Who among us? Who among us? So yeah, so if you're a golfer, get out on Sunday. It'll be a good time. I mean, 18 holes, 9 holes, play the 9 holes and feel like you've given to a good cause. Because that's really what you're doing. You're just giving to a good cause. You're making a way for some Caribbean students to do what we say, value education and seek achievement thereof. And it's a wonderful thing. So if you're of Caribbean descent, this is the organization for you. And that means Puerto Ricanos, Dominicans, St. Lucians, Bajans, all the folks, come out and do your thing. I'm gonna do my best to be there on Sunday. You know me, I keep 8 balls in the air at all times. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So anyway, I can't complain. So last night was good. I had a good time in the space at the convention center with the Crawford Black Law folks. It was like 500 people in that space. And that's the most they've ever had. And that just speaks to people wanting connection to each other, real connection. It's necessary because I think so few of us are attorneys. Less than 5% of all attorneys are of color. And it's got to be a lonely space, particularly if you are in spaces where we have not historically been. It can be it could have you questioning your abilities, your mental health, your choices, you know. And I want to say to these young attorneys and to these young folks who are starting out, and myself in particular, that, you know, whatever is meant for you won't get by you. You have all the skills and talents necessary to do the work. It's not rocket science, but it does require rigorous study. I am understanding that. And wherever God has sent you, He intended for you to be there. And I know a lot of people are not believers of such, you know, so you might want to just say the universe has conspired to put you in the place that you need to be, you know, even even if you don't cop to it. So that's all, you know. And I heard a little bit of, you know, of that struggle in some of the acceptance speeches from the awardees, and you know what comes up, particularly around Black women in these spaces, is imposter syndrome, and uh, and that is so unfortunate, you know, because that just says we missed a step in building and pouring into our young people. Because, you know, in my day, wherever you showed up, that's you showed up and you represented without a care and without second thought that you were good enough, if not better, than those that would malign you. And so I don't know where I don't know when the disconnect happened, that people get into these spaces and feel like, you know, and I know the taunting that goes on, I know the foolishness that goes on. I mean, I'm 61 years old. I've worked in a great many places in my professional life, a great many places. And I've seen a great many things. I've done a great many things. And so I know what can go on when people don't want you in the space, or, you know, they want to project their own insecurities on you to make you feel less because they already feel less and threatened. And so um, they turn that on you so that they could throw you off your game. And don't let it. Don't let it. You know, you don't got to argue with them about whether you belong. You already belong. If you got through somebody's law school and graduated, you belong anywhere you put your feet down. You know, and it doesn't mean you have to graduate with honors. I mean, that's icing. That's just more icing, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, you got this. You know, just be your badass self, you know. And look at the source. Look at the people who are saying these things to you. Look at them, you know. Misery loves company, but so does joy. I choose joy. And even though sometimes I'm faced with foolishness from people, and I get a lot of foolishness from people, you know, people who don't like the joy that I bring, or just think I haven't suffered enough, or who are just don't know how to get what they need, and they see me getting what I need and they can't stand it. Listen, listen, choose joy, you know, happiness over everything. So I'll be back with Anru at 10:15, because you know we love talking to Anru. And I'll see y'all. Hang in. Stay tuned. Oh yeah. Is that brown sugar? Brown sugar, baby. I get high, don't know how to behave.